So, hi guys, welcome to the MMA UK news. Obviously, my name's Stoomboy, as always, for the MMA UK BJJ show. So, tonight, obviously, today, should I say, special guest is Reece McEwan. Reece McEwan, currently 2-0 as a professional. He's a bit of an Evolution of Combat veteran now, so this will be his third one. Obviously, had great wins at Evolution of Combat 6, Evolution of Combat 7. And Reece is one of the kind of top Scottish prospects at the moment on the scene. Obviously, there's quite a few young prospects coming through, and Reece is definitely one of the top guys. As an amateur, I believe he was UK's #1 amateur bantamweight. So, absolute honour to have you on, Reece. How are you doing, buddy? You okay?
I'm good. Thanks very much for the kind words, and thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, how's everything going then? Obviously, I know that you were training, obviously being an elite athlete, being a professional athlete, you managed to get some training in during the lockdown, but obviously since the 19th of July, how's everything changed for yourself?
Yeah, it's been great. I have been one of the grateful and lucky. I have been one of the lucky ones that have been able to keep a bubble of training going throughout this time, and I'm very grateful for that. But having the gym back to full capacity is incredible. Seeing everyone every day and seeing people train and seeing and getting to hang out and catch everyone that I've not seen in a long time has been superb.
Yeah. And obviously training at the Grip House under Scotland's most handsome man, Dean Riley.
So there was a few guys that I wonder what he's going to say. What he's going to say.
Because I remember coming up, we did an awards. I came up for an award with for Louise Murray, and obviously Dean accepted the award on behalf of himself as the best looking man in Scotland and the best dressed man in Scotland as well.
Yeah, I'll go with that. That's right. You can have those awards.
Brilliant. And obviously the Grip House, as I say, I've got so much admiration for you guys. Anytime I talk about the Grip House, always have you guys in high regards. You guys are the certainly in regards to martial arts, whether it be Muay Thai, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, martial arts. You guys are the people that everybody follows in Scotland, so, and have done for a number of years. So what's for you, I mean, what's the training like at the Grip House for yourself?
It's incredible. It's no matter every day that you turn up, you've just got something new to learn, and it's not just the way that you're learning; it's how you're learning it. You're learning it in a great environment, and you're surrounded by good people. So I also train in Greenock at a gym called Inverclyde Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Ian Gilmartin, who is also a Grip House guy. So I'm surrounded by great people and coaches without a fountain of knowledge.
Yeah, definitely a great pedigree of fighters coming out the Grip House over the years. Obviously, going back to the days like Paul McVeigh and stuff like that, right up to obviously yourself now. So there's a lot of people that you can take knowledge from in every kind of martial arts.
Yeah, with like Paul, for instance, like when I was wanting to start training MMA, I was like, I had this admiration of I'm going to be in the UFC and I'm going to be a world champion and all that. And I was like, but on a serious note, for me to do that, I need to go and train at the best place from day one. And I googled the best MMA gym in Scotland. The Grip House came up, and I seen Paul McVeigh train there. I thought I wanted to train with him. He was one of the only fighters that I knew. And now he runs the gym that I train at every day. So how could I not be grateful and happy that I'm there?
Definitely. Paul's a fantastic guy. As I love chatting with him. As I said, whether we chat in competitions and stuff like that, absolutely fantastic character. And that's one thing again about the Grip House. There's so many characters. We talked about Dean Riley, obviously claiming to be the best looking man in Scotland and stuff like that. So is it important for you to have them kind of characters around you? Just obviously keeping you motivated, keeping you laughing and smiling and stuff like that.
No, of course. Like I said, I am surrounded by they are very knowledgeable coaches, but they're also very dedicated people. Like this is their life as well. Their full-time job, so it's my full-time job, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds. It's not just happy people that you're surrounded by; it's happy, knowledgeable, skilled coaches who are also on the mats every day, pushing themselves and trying to learn and try to be the best version of themselves. So that can only rub off well on me.
Definitely. And then Evolution of Combat 8, just around the corner, 7th of August at the Equestrian Centre in Kilmarnock. I believe the event kicks off about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I think the doors will probably open up a little bit earlier than that. So again, tickets, anybody want to buy tickets, you can get tickets directly from the fighters. There's no tickets up for general sale, I believe, so you can only get tickets directly from the fighters. So anybody that's looking for tickets, just speak to obviously your chosen fighter. So yeah, your opponent, yeah, and your opponent, as I say, your opponent. We talked. Opponent's a bit of a ghost. We mentioned, so as I say, we know what he's done obviously a good number of years ago. So how do you plan to fight against anybody? Maybe if you don't have much footage or much recent footage and things like that, how do you plan going into the fights?
Well, I feel that no matter how much footage you've got on your opponent, they're either going to be the best version of themselves or the worst version of themselves when you fight them, because they're either going to rise to the occasion or they're going to not be able to deal with that pressure. So as much as I've got very little stuff on my opponent, but in a sense it doesn't really matter, like, because even if I had loads of tape or loads of fights on him, again, he's most people in the UK anyway haven't fought in the last 11 months because of COVID and lockdowns. If you look at me 11 months ago, if you look at me in the last fight, like, it's just everybody's had 11 months of development time. However they've spent it, I'm not really sure, but they're definitely not going to be the same fighters they were previously. So anyway, it's irrelevant. I'm just focused on myself and turn up to get better, and the opponent, literally, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing obviously about any kind of martial arts. You worry about your own game, you don't worry about your opponent's game. As long as you go in and do your thing, then as I say, the rest is history. So
even if you see, when you go in and you apply yourself and you perform the best of your ability, the person's either going to beat you or you're going to walk over them. Either way, you're going to have information to go back into the gym and take on to your next fight, and that's what it's all about.
Definitely. And your two fights, as I say, both of them have been your two professional fights. Both of them have been at Evolution of Combat. So obviously, the first one you won, I believe, a head and arm triangle. The second one, I think it was put down as a dash choke, or it was a neck tie. So what we've seen in your professional career so far has been absolutely brilliant. I mean, your two fights, as I said, went exactly as you wanted it to go. So what are we looking at for this fight? I mean, you're looking at something similar, or are you going to be changing things up a little bit? Obviously, we don't want to give away too much, Reece. So
no, there's nothing to give away. I feel that I'm ready for 3 hard rounds. Like, my last 3 fights haven't even been 5 minutes. I don't think they add up to 5 minutes, or if they do, it's just a wee bit above that. So I'm looking for some cage time. If there's an opening for a finish, I'll be taking that. But every round I'm preparing to get stronger and break my opponent down. It's as simple as that. That's why that matter, like, because I'm looking to bring my best. If it's a 30-second finish, brilliant. And if it's a 15-minute like back and forth fight, I'm coming out on top.
Yeah. And then obviously a question coming in there from Aaron East. Are you looking forward to the sorely missed crowd?
Yeah, 100%. Like, the buzz about people messaging, asking for tickets, saying that they can come or they can't come or whatever reason, like, no matter what it is, like, it actually gives me butterflies just talking about it. And just at the moment, I'm like watching old videos back, like visualizing and seeing, because I know I fought last year, but I had to prepare differently. I had to prepare for silence, essentially. And when my crowd and my support comes, it's not silent. So I'm preparing for a loud crowd, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah. That's one thing about Evolution of Combat 7. It was eerily quiet.
Well, that's in the preparations. I kept getting asked, how you feel, like, no crowd. I'm like, I'm prepared. And I remember Dean saying to me just before we went out, he was like, when we walk out, that's it. And I'm like, no, it's cool. Like, I'm prepared. There's going to be no crowd. It's going to be different. It's a unique show. So I was pumped up with adrenaline, focused, tunnel vision. See, when the fight was over, and all I heard was, I was like, where is everyone? I was like, yeah, is that?
Yeah, yeah.
Usually it's like I'm like everybody's going mental and I'm jumping about and buzzing to see everyone. So that was the only thing when the adrenaline and that ran out. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah. Because you noticed that from Evolution of Combat 6 when we watched that, and obviously when you won, the crowd went mental and everybody shouting Reece, 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 and then Evolution of Combat 7, I think the only person that shouted that I heard was Richard Dixon, and he was commentating. So
Well, the first thing I actually heard was him saying, I can't remember word for word, but it was basically like, thanks for finishing that early because the Chinese is still open. And but yeah, so yeah, but again, that's part of my journey. I get to say I fought in front of sold out crowds. This will be a sold out crowd, and I fought in
yeah,
front of zero crowds. And either way, the goal didn't change the same. A strong performance. That's what I was looking to bring.
definitely, definitely. And then obviously you'll have visions of what you want to do, maybe next or maybe in the future. What's your plans? What's your overall vision?
Right now, I've not missed out. The last 11 months I've spent in the gym getting better. I've not been able to compete in jiu-jitsu or K1 or MMA or anything. So the next few months when the shows pop up, I want to be ready and just be as active as possible. I've been training all year for this opportunity on the 7th of August. And I've just want to keep the ball rolling after that, whatever show's willing to have me. I know they've got a show 5 weeks after. I'm not looking past this day by no means, but I've just got to be kind of like thing in the back of my head and the shows that I want to compete in. If a bigger show comes calling, then I'll take that opportunity with both hands.
Definitely, definitely. And then what's obviously coming from the grip house, there's been a lot of guys coming through for MMA, but who was your overall MMA hero?
Overall MMA hero. I don't actually have one. I just try and take inspiration from everyone, to be honest. When I went to be honest, I've been in loads of like professional fighters, UFC fighters and high level fighters, but there's only like a select few where I actually felt like not like nervous meeting, and it was Paul and Dean. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. I was like, oh my goodness, these are the people that I'm like I knew Dean was a pro fighter. I was like, he's a pro fighter.
yeah,
And same with Paul, I was like, this is the person that I wanted to train alongside, and now he's in the same room as me, and I got dead nervous. So,
yeah,
in terms of an individual, I wouldn't have one. I just try and take inspiration from everyone.
yeah.
Myself, that's my
Nice one. And then you're,
Paul and Dean. That's the people that I felt that I was kind of most nervous around.
yeah, yeah. And then what about your dream fight? If you had to pick any fighter out there, who would your dream fight be?
Whoever's got the UFC belt.
Nice, nice. I like it. So the champion, bring the
Yeah,
champion
the
on.
champion will always change, but the belt will always be there. So whoever's got the belt.
Yeah. And this one, I believe, Evolution of Combat 8 for the bantamweight title.
Yeah,
Evolution of Combat bantamweight title. So yeah, fingers crossed. Obviously, you can get that in the bag.
yeah, 100%. Like a third pro fighting for a title, like that's a massive thing. As an amateur, I won my first title in my fourth fight. So I'm just kind of beating records in my own my own career, comparing my
Yeah,
amateur to my professional career. But ultimately, the belt doesn't make a difference. I'm coming to bring a strong performance, and then after it, I'll have a nice wee bit of gold to put over my shoulder.
nice one, nice one. And then anybody you want to thank? Obviously, it's been a number of years. As I say, I think you've been around amateur and professional for about 6 years now, roughly.
Yeah,
2015.
Halloween 2015.
Yeah, so about 6 years. So it's been a long journey so far. So who would you like to thank? Or we talked about sponsors, but you've got your own website, reecemcEwan.co.uk. So
Yeah, obviously, without a doubt, like I have to thank all my coaches, my training partners for always helping me, for always pushing me, and of course all the sponsors that are on board that are helping me as well. Like, I'm hugely grateful, especially through the last like 18 months. It's been a hard time with gyms being closed, and luckily I've had sponsors that have been able to basically help me chase this job, this dream and make it a job and a full-time living. So I hugely appreciate it. If you do want to go in and see more about my team, the people that I train with, the businesses that sponsor me, I do have my own website at reecemckewan.com, and that way you can go on and not only just see who's part of the team, but you can go on and see their own social media channels, their own websites, and see maybe there's a business that helps me and that could help you too. Or you want to start your martial art journey, you live in Glasgow, you live in Greenock, and you can go onto my website and you can see a wee bit more. Go on their Facebook and join the gym.
Definitely. And the gym as well, the Grip House put their timetable up the other day, so their timetable going forward. So obviously they've got a number of classes obviously available for everybody. I know that Mark as well is doing the Ultra MMA event. So obviously through the Grip House. So that's obviously taking somebody from beginner to an actual MMA fight, obviously an exhibition fight. So again, be sure to look out for that. One thing as well, Katie Hunter, obviously you know Katie Hunter. Katie Hunter saying she can't wait to see you back in action, Reece. So we've got our own WhatsApp group, and our WhatsApp group, we obviously your name's been a hot topic. As I say, we're all buzzing to see you back in the cage. I'm buzzing to see what you do. I'll be there on the night. So I'll be ringside. I'll be able to get to see obviously you in action again, and hopefully we'll be able to chat to you after it as well and get your thoughts on it.
Definitely. This might be this will be my first pro title, but it might also be the first fight where I'll have a tan. So however, if the sun doesn't keep up, then the tan's going to fade away. So
well, that's unusual.
Bring a strong performance, and I might not be as pale as I usually am.
Nice one, Reece. Well, listen, thank you again for taking the time to speak to me this morning. Listen, best of luck. Obviously, 7th of August. Obviously, we're going to see you back in the cage. And yeah, as I say, fingers crossed you come away with that W, buddy.
Thanks very much. I'll see you on the night. Thanks to everyone for listening.
Take it easy, brother. Take care.
Bye-bye.